Hi there. Today I'd like to give my take on the echo chamber and the snowball effect. What I want you to understand about these psychological concepts is that there is a decision which you get to make in all of this, and it is really a choice of what you give your attention to. Let's go back to the internet again. As I said in one of my earlier videos, which you can watch if you subscribe to my channel, the internet was not possible before we understood what we do about quantum mechanics. The ironic thing about it to me is that it is a technology which we have had the whole time we have been here. It is the mechanics of our perception. And just like with the internet, there's a competition for your attention going on here too. We naturally develop patterns which make certain decisions more likely in the future. There's a neuroscientific explanation for this. Neurons that fire together wire together. A Course in Miracles says the following. Quote, "What you do not understand is that two voices speak for different interpretations of the same thing simultaneously, or almost simultaneously, for the ego always speaks first. Alternate interpretations are unnecessary until the first one has been made, and speaking itself was unnecessary before the ego was made. The ego speaks in judgment, and the Holy Spirit reverses its decisions, much as a Supreme Court has the power to reverse a lower court's decisions about the laws of this world." End quote. If we let our attention just go where it wants, we can expect that the ego will always speak first. This is the state of the unwatched mind, and because most of us believe that our thoughts are idle, that they have no causative effect on anything, we don't guard them at all. The ego will always direct you to pay attention to what is fearful, because separation is its premise. It brings us the concept of the echo chamber. Here's how it works. We see what we believe to be true, or what we want to be true. The observer effect demonstrates this is true for all humans, including our best scientists. We don't know we had to believe it first to see it, because that is a fact we keep hidden from ourselves, as I've explained how these various abstract truths elicit fear when understood only in part. And the ego is screaming at us all the while that it is our salvation, and begs us to fear that which we don't understand and to look away. Then we pay attention to what we do understand already, which is that we live in a fearful world. And guess what? Because we believe in a fearful world, it will be rendered there for us to see. On the internet, the algorithm gives these dynamics a booster shot by knowing already what we want to see. If we want to see that Trump and Musk are the boogeymen, then the internet will gladly show us things that confirm our suspicion. If we want to see that Pelosi and Biden are the boogeymen, the internet will gladly show us that too. The echo chamber clearly shows the path of least resistance, as set up by the ego thought system, is to keep seeing more of what you already believe. We're like the choir searching for a preacher who will preach to us what we already believe and confirm to us that it is so. It is impossible to start changing our minds about anything unless we take a stand at some point and become vigilant about the one thing which we have some control over, namely where we give our attention. Otherwise, we will get more set in our false beliefs because of the phenomena known as the echo chamber, the snowball effect. The second of today's principles is what happens as a result of giving our minds over to the echo chamber. Our beliefs naturally strengthen by being entertained more. It works this way regardless of whether your thoughts are conducive to an experience of peace, joy, and love, or if they are conducive to fear alone. Unless we are consciously aware of the fact it works this way, we can't possibly break the cycle and start to snowball in a positive direction. If you really get convinced, and I am trying to convince you, that your thoughts alone can cause you harm, and here's a quote from A Course in Miracles, "It is your thoughts alone that cause you pain. Nothing external to your mind can hurt you or injure you in any way. There is no cause beyond yourself that can reach down and bring oppression. No one but yourself affects you. There is nothing in the world which has the power to make you ill or sad or weak or frail. But it is you who have the power to dominate all things you see by merely recognizing what you are. Your thoughts are something which you can gain mastery over by learning through practice to be more selective about which narrative you give your attention to, both in the external realm called internet or the internal realm called thoughts. Neurons that fire together wire together is a mixed blessing, and explains why your thoughts snowball into beliefs. On the level of thought, we have a decision to make in every moment, to think with love or to think with fear. In the terminology of acim, this is the same as deciding with the Holy Spirit or with the ego, which is synonymous with deciding to identify with the at-one-ment, the idea that we are one mind, or with the thought system based on the premise that we are separate and alone. One of these thoughts is in alignment with the will of God, meaning that we can't lose that part of ourselves, even if we're insane enough to think we would want to. But we can choose against the ego because we made that ourselves. If we're thinking thoughts from love, we don't need to concern ourselves with how we feel or what we do. Better emotions and better behaviors will eventually flow naturally from this orientation. Our mission is to continue to stabilize the right-mindedness through not entertaining thoughts that oppose right-mindedness. All the thoughts are vying for our attention. The ego is louder and more persistent, but if we recognize that we feel worse when we're thinking ego thoughts, we will find the motivation to stay with this practice, especially if we appreciate the fact that our thoughts alone can cause us pain. Thank you for your time.